So my presentation today is not as interactive as Irina's, because it has, you know, if you look at the topic, you can see that it's raising learners' empathy in the English class. And mainly, I will concentrate it on the human-animal bond and what actually it entails. Oh, yes. You can see on this slide the objectives, and actually this is the agenda, what I'm going to do during this presentation. Very little theory, so we'll discuss two definitions of empathy, but I will ask you to look at them from the point of view of the vocabulary as well, because it is very helpful to my mind. And we'll discuss the importance of empathy. I'll introduce 5 essential steps for schools concerning empathy, and we'll try to learn how to build empathy in an educational environment, as well as we'll access several online resources, free resources. And at the end, I will introduce you to, or I will present a lesson designed by me, where the main topic is empathy. So,
sorry. Can you press on F6 so that we see the live screen?
Okay. F5.
Somebody asked in the chat. Yes, F5 or F6. So it's there.
F5.
No, F5. Sorry then.
Yes, full screen now.
Okay. Thank you.
No, that is because if just wait. Okay, that's better for me now. It works better. Well, I often ask myself how to teach empathy, how important it might be, what kind of quality it is, and how important it is to our younger generation. But the main question, just at least I asked myself, was what can I personally do to contribute to this development? Okay, a nice picture about empathy. The first definition is the ability to share someone else's feelings or experiences by imagining what it would be like to be in that person's situation. This is the Cambridge definition. However, I like this one. I really like it in terms of vocabulary. I even learned a new word I didn't know. So empathy is regarded as the action of understanding, being aware of, being sensitive to, and vicariously experiencing the feelings, thoughts, and experience of another, of either the past or present, without having the feelings, thoughts, and experience fully communicated in an objectively explicit manner. Take a look at the vocabulary. With high-level students, you can you can use this definition to enrich their vocabulary and to improve their grammar, being aware of, being sensitive to, so on and so forth. So we can practice not only vocabulary, but grammar as well. Now, just looking for information when I was getting ready. So I just found this picture, and I've been really thinking what emotions it may arose in our hearts or in our students. Well, I'll ask 3 questions and try to think how you would answer. What is the girl thinking about? What is the girl thinking about? What is the boy doing? What is the boy doing? And how does this dog feel? And what is the dog thinking about? Personally, I had some 3 different interpretations. So if I ask you to say something, so what do you think? What is the girl doing? Just someone.
The girl is afraid.
She's afraid. So she says, oh my God, a dog. Okay.
Yes.
Any other idea?
She's probably confident that her friend will protect her.
Okay. Okay. And one idea more, please.
She's also probably thinking about the fact that the boy might hurt the dog.
Uh-huh. Okay, thank you. Now, what is the boy doing?
The boy is trying to feed the dog.
Okay, so he's trying to feed the dog. Then it's not as bad as it seemed at the very beginning, right?
Yes.
So,
He's
if the dog is
trying to
feeding the
approach.
dog, if the boy is feeding the dog, so
He's trying to approach the dog.
yeah, he's trying to approach the dog.
I think he's trying to become friends.
Okay, that's right. To win the dog's trust or whatever.
Yes.
What else?
The boy is trying to tame the dog.
Okay, to chain the dog. Now let's look. Now let's look at the dog. Look at the expression of the dog's eyes, the dog's muzzle. So, what does the dog feel?
Scared also.
Oh, the dog is scared. Well, what else?
But he's not aggressive.
No, not at all.
No.
That's right. It's not aggressive.
The dog is not sure about the boy's intentions.
Excellent. The dog kind of hesitates whether to approach and to accept the food or not. Great.
He's a little afraid.
Yeah, it's afraid. That's it.
Hey, but he's hungry.
Yeah, it is hungry. Definitely the dog is hungry. Okay, now if we look again, we have 3 different emotions. Look at the girl, right? Either she is scared or she is so sorry, right? For this dog, we have the boy who is determined to impress the girl and to help the dog. And we have the dog who is really hungry, and we can see hope in the dog's eyes, right? Kind of hoping for a better life. You can see that the dog has a leash on its neck, which means that probably once it had a home and now it has become a stray dog. And the dog is trying to trust people again. So what actually I mean by this picture? It's when our heart and our brain go hand in hand, right? We do what we feel, but at the same time, we are trying to be safe. So, just as we work in an educational environment, right? I've been often thinking how important and how necessary it is to build empathy at school. How important it is to say something to our students during the lesson, how important it is to be just to feel empathy. And in fact, research shows that those who show empathy towards one another, and people or animals, are less likely to bully. So bullying has become a very, well, unpleasant, you know, this is perhaps a new word, phenomenon in modern life. We can see, I guess, hundreds of videos online where teenagers are aggressive, where teenagers try to hurt either their colleagues or animals, and they just shoot videos, right, and place them online. It's a kind of boasting. I don't know what they have in their minds. That's why it's high time we should do something with this one. And when we teach them how to do it, and when we show them how to do it, it will, and our students hopefully will become more, just kinder. So research also shows that it helps students understand, study, and work with others. That is, they learn how to collaborate with each other and not be very selfish. In fact, those schools where empathy is advocated for are peaceful, productive, positive places where all teachers can teach and all students can learn. All right. And if you look at these ideas, right, you can either agree or disagree with them. And it seems to me that we can borrow at least some of these ideas and use them in our teaching practice, just either as English teachers or as class teachers, right, or as educators, call it whatever you like. However, if we manage to introduce at least some of them into our academic career, then our students will become better people, kinder. Of course, there is much more to do than to ask our students to walk in somebody else's shoes. Though I can't say there are very many educational materials developed by teachers considering this topic. Now, take a look at this picture. You know, how will you interpret the message of this picture? So, who volunteers? What can you see here? If we just relate it to our topic.
God is always next to us.
God is always next to us, helping us whatever we do and whoever we are. Okay. Any other ideas?
Forgive and you will be forgiven.
Forgive and you will be forgiven. Excellent. Okay. It
We
also
shouldn't.
Always on the safe side.
all right. So I forgot about the chat.
Probably when you help somebody, you also help more people because they can see it, and they, in a way, you share this.
All right. This is also a good point.
Rescue is human.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter black or white.
Yeah. But as you know, as okay.
Sunny weather.
All right. Thank you.
Can I say like this? Strong people always share hands to lift others.
Okay. Thank you. That's a good one.
Hope dies the last.
Okay, hope dies last. All right. But if just from the perspective of the topic of my presentation, I see this picture, you know, as the hands of a teacher or parent trying to withdraw our students from this ocean of negativity, of violence, of anxiety, whatever. Because actually we know that people naturally have the capacity for empathy, but that doesn't mean that they develop it on their own. We as parents and teachers perhaps should do more in order to make them aware how important it is, how important empathy is in a person's life. A group of scholars or from researchers from Harvard University came with 5 essential steps for schools to follow, right? That is model empathy, teach what empathy is and why it matters, practice, set clear ethical expectations, and make school culture and climate a priority. We as English teachers can choose at least some and try to introduce them into our class, because that will definitely help us with empathy. You may ask how we can do it. So, of course, helping students expand their circle of concern, educators model and encourage their students to take action. And I'm quite certain that if educators show they care about everyone and expect students to do the same, it can help students open their eyes and ears to others, including those who are sometimes treated as invisible. That is, and perhaps here we can teach them how not to be indifferent. How can we as teachers use empathy, right, to inspire our students to fight for a social cause? Because in fact, if we manage to persuade our learners that empathy is seeing with the eyes of another, listening with the ears of another, and feeling with the heart of another, then it means that we are good teachers. That's it. That our students somehow learned something new. You know, there are many people who love animals and who protect them. And it's really important to know who we are here on Earth with. And I wanted to read this quote. It belongs to a person who works in Africa, protecting animals. And this person came to the conclusion that animals are really similar to us, right? And they have bonds, they have emotions, you know. And I want really to at least I will try to persuade you to raise or to develop in your students this emotion, this capacity of being in fact empathetic towards others. And from here we are going to speak about animals and people, about this relationship. Of course, animals can't speak for themselves, right? And we are their voices. And now I want to introduce a person. You know, I'm really lucky in my life. God sends me really amazing people. And I am surrounded by great people. And this lady is one of them. I hope she is here. This is a person, MARGARITA KOSIOR. I met her in Thessaloniki in Greece. And she is an amazing person who is in fact the one who is in fact the one who writes materials, who presents during conferences, who advocates for animals' rights, who advocates for campaigns how to protect animals. And she is the one, right, who wrote a very good book, Toby to the Rescue. It's a picture book. You can find it on Amazon. Later, I'll show you the link. And MARGARITA is the one who actually inspired me to get into this topic. Thank you, MARGARITA, a lot, if you are here. So here there is some information about MARGARITA. And she's the one who developed a lot of resources. I will later access some of her resources. I'm afraid the link won't work if I try now, but I guess I can try. If it doesn't, So new share perhaps. Wait
If the
a minute.
internet connection is good, then it should open.
I hope. Okay. Oh, here it is. Share. This is an amazing site. I highly advise you to use it with many activities online, memory game. I'll show you, let's say, I like this one, word search, or rhymes, or whatever, or this one. It's not, we have this one. No, this is, perhaps I will, or this one. So, just like this, and you can find, you know, okay, this one is Little Nick, I guess, and then you get points. Students will play like this. Okay, no, slide, was it here? No, this one, you know, and stuff like this. Oh, okay, merry-go-round, you know, and oh, this is the slide. And the children can play. Or this one. Okay. Okay. Here it trains memory. No, not this one. My memory is not as good as I thought it was, you know? Oh no, this one comes. No, oh yeah, at least I got 2 points. I have emotions. Okay, where's the woman? No, not here. Oh, that is the boy. You know, stuff like that. Okay, and children can play, and it's really amazing. I highly advise you just to use this. Okay, perhaps now I want to return. Shall I stop sharing or what?
No, you just switch.
Okay, I return to my presentation. Now what can you see? Is the slide?
No, not yet.
No.
Cannot see.
Okay.
So you just, another share, you just choose the.
Okay.
So you have the not stop
I
share,
see.
a new share, and you choose your presentation from the
All
screen.
right, perhaps it's this one. Share. And now,
Okay,
no,
yeah,
now
that's perfect. Yes.
Yeah, there are a lot of printable resources, so you can later access them, and they're really very helpful. You know, this is the way how Margarita worked with this Tales of Stray campaign, right? Which aims at raising learners' awareness and empower English language learners all over the world. So this is an international project. This is the book I was talking about. You can find it on Amazon, Tales of Stray. Margarita advocates, as I said, for animal rights. April 4th every year is celebrated like World Stray Animals Day, right? Because actually, we should be aware that there are hundreds of millions of stray animals in the world, which are the victims of cruelty, neglect, and abuse. And Margarita came with an excellent idea just to prepare this compilation of lesson plans, which are free, and you will have access to this, the human-born animals. And Margarita managed to gather quite an international body of contributors. We can see people from Japan, Hungary, Greece, Poland, Moldova, you know, and this publication you will have access to is an attempt to bring this topic of magical relationship into the classroom all over the world. That's it. And we are supposed to highlight the beauty of our relationship with animals and somehow cultivate in our learners positive behavior towards them. It has been done with much love. Now more about this publication. So this is the contents, right? And you can see the titles of the lessons. who it was developed, each lesson was developed by, the age and the level, the language level. You can see that we have, actually we have activities here. The age frame from 5 till adults, you know, and language levels from A1 till C1 or even C2. So you can find different kinds of activities here. And mine here, as we're in alphabetical order, my lesson is the last one, and we are going to work with, I'll try at least to advertise my work. And I'm quite certain that the best way to take action is by educating our students. So as I said, the lesson title is Senior Dogs Deserve a Caring Home Too. And here are the aims of the lessons. We tried to train as many language skills as possible. You can use this lesson for 45 minutes, but at the same time, you can prolong it for 90, for 2 or even 3 lessons. Just it depends which the objectives of your lessons are going to be. You can use all the activities I will suggest. There are plenty of activities. However, you can choose the ones you consider necessary. So, as a rule, just now I'm going to present how I see this lesson. I would draw a word cloud on the board, right? And I would write some words related to the topic, right, of the lesson, but I don't tell the topic to the students from the very beginning. For instance, stray, abandoned, lost, wandering, puppy, sick, happy. If my students don't know the words, I will help them understand the meaning. There are different ways, right, of introducing vocabulary, of practice vocabulary, right, during the lesson. I won't get into that. So these are the words suggested by me. Then I ask the students to come with more related, topic-related words. And for instance, they can add healthy, old, aged, senior, cruelty, care, so on and so forth. They might come with many, many words, and I would normally write them on the board. We can do this activity online as well. They say something or they write in the chat, and we can just introduce the words into this word cloud. Then the next one, the second stage, and for which I suggest several steps or several options, right? I can show them this collage of pictures and ask them to look at the photos of dogs to get inspired. And I will ask them to continue the sentence. For instance, the dog, or dogs in general, right, are friendly, dogs are faithful, they come with adjectives, for example. Or dogs are easily hurt. We have an adjective and an adverb. Dogs are beautiful. Dogs are big. Dogs are small. Again, your students will come with the different words. Again, depending on their language level. As I said, you can use this idea for just in different classes. Now let's go to the second option. So you can write the words dogs are in the middle of the board and ask students to create a mind map using various words and phrases. Dogs are beautiful, dogs are amazing, dogs are, you know, so on and so forth. And the second part of this activity, perhaps I like it more. The students add words and phrases, right? Creating sentences. Dogs are faithful as they will never betray you. Take a look. Dogs are faithful as they will never betray you. Dogs are faithful because they always protect their family. Or dogs are the best companion because, and students come with different opinions. But it's a very good activity because it trains word order. This is a very common mistake our students make, because in Romanian and in Russian we have 3 word order, right? But in English it's just there is a certain rule how to make up sentences. Now, the next stage, I suggest pre-teaching the vocabulary from this lesson, the vocabulary from the text, because later we're going to work with the text, right? And we have stray, abandoned, lost, wandering, senior dogs, aged dogs, animal shelter, care for, to be filled with, indifference, desperation, betrayal, a leash, a cage, for good, etc., right? In fact, this vocabulary can be used both for conversation and not only. And you will see how our learners can use this vocabulary in practice. It's up to you, teachers, what techniques, what vocabulary teaching techniques you're going to use. Again, it depends on you. Well, as for the next stage, I suggest showing the picture of a puppy. It's an adorable puppy here from Wales. And I will ask my students to answer a couple of questions. For instance, something, would you like to have a puppy? Why? Why not? Some would say, yes, absolutely. I guess the greatest majority of children love puppies, and they would love to have one. However, why not? Because my mom doesn't or wouldn't let me, because my mom hates animals, or my mom said, you know, no animal in the house, whatever. Then the second question, what kind of puppy would you like? And then the next question, are there many puppies in the streets in your area? And why? Because now we can see a lot of little puppies, right, in parks, in the streets. And really, it's a serious problem for big cities, for Chisinau and for Wales. Perhaps you have seen. Now, after that, I suggest showing another one, right? This dog is not as young as the previous one. And I come with a different set of questions, right? What can you say about this dog? And actually, the key point here is that you are supposed to elicit from the learners the word old dog. This is one of the key questions. And we can see from the picture that it's quite an aged dog. And are there more young or old stray dogs in the street? And again, what suggestions they could, or what solutions they could suggest in order to avoid or to solve the problem. You can make it, you can ask your students either to say it orally, or it could be a written activity. Again, you decide as teachers. As I previously said, depending on the topic of your lesson. And after that, you'll try to elicit the topic of the lesson. Senior dogs deserve a loving home too. And I would start discussing this one. Oh, dogs also deserve a loving home. Why? Why not? Some people might say, okay, old dogs are old and we should put them to sleep, right? Or on the contrary, old dogs are experienced dogs. Old dogs, you know, and they would come with different ideas. Some might say, oh, old dogs, well, if you have one in the house, it means many problems. They are not active. They need the consultation of vets, which is very expensive, you know. Or on the contrary, if we teach and we manage to prove to our students that old dogs are also creatures which deserve empathy, then I think that we will manage to bring up excellent people in the future. Now, such a question: do animals have feelings and emotions? And if yes, how they express them? So I want your opinion. I want your points of view, people. So who would volunteer answering these questions?
certainly animals have feelings and emotions. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I have a cat and a dog, and whatever you say, the dog understands you. And you can look at the dog's eyes, at the dog's tail, and you will understand everything. So there are some parts of the body that can show emotions, and even the eyes of the dog can show emotions easily.
Okay, that's great. Okay.
Can I say?
Yeah.
I have a dog.
Oh, great.
And yeah, okay, so I like it very much. And yeah, I really think they have feelings and emotions. And I have noticed that, so when my dog is hungry, he makes a very sound. Okay, so it's kind of, he's asking me to give him food. Okay, it's a she, in fact, her food.
Okay, it's your pet, you can use.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know
okay,
exactly.
so a special sound, yes, okay, and I know I need to give her food, okay, then when she's very grateful, okay, she makes a certain,
wagging the tail.
moves in a certain way, where she makes a certain sound, well, yeah, okay, when they really can express, or if they are sad, they look into your eyes and you understand that she is sad, I understand she is sad. I kind of, yeah, it's very interesting to watch them, okay, or to watch, for me to watch my dog and see the way she can express emotions and feelings. And sometimes I have an impression they can express their emotions and feelings better than humans.
Okay, thank you. Now I want you just to look at the next pictures, the following pictures, right? And I would advise you to show your students this picture or these pictures of this dog. And my question is, where were these pictures taken? Can you answer?
Dog shelter?
Dog shelter, animal shelter, that's right.
Animal shelter, yes.
Yeah, well, dog shelter, it's okay, it's right. So these are real pictures, right? And this is a real person, Roman Tartman from Chisinau, right? Actually. And take a look at this dog. So you will elicit from your students in a dog shelter. We did it. Now, I would like you to describe the dog, what you see in this picture, and try to predict its destiny, the dog's destiny, the dog's future. So, who will volunteer, please? I know it's not so easy, however.
I think somebody will adopt the dog.
Hopefully someone will.
Yeah, hopefully, yes. It will have a better life than in the dog shelter, or than before.
But what do you see right now? Look at the muzzle. Look at, just, I can't say muzzle, I would use the word face. Though animals don't have faces, right? So what emotions?
I can speak. Very lonely.
Loneliness.
Unhappy, sad.
Sadness.
Yeah, it's sadness. We say that eyes are the soul of our spirit. So the dog is showing his sadness and everything through crying in his eyes. So
we can see kind of tears. The dog, is the dog crying? Can animals cry?
Yeah, they do.
Of course they can.
Yeah, they can do.
Yes,
okay.
they can do.
Are these tears just because of the emotions it feels, or is it just a physiological reaction? Because some researchers say animals can't cry, even dogs can't cry.
It's not just physiological one. I think it's more about emotions. Great being for this.
I also think so.
Maybe in the picture, maybe the dog is feeling love, etc., by the other person. Can I see the human's hand? So he needed that, and now he's expressing the love that he needed all this time.
Right?
Yes, the gratitude.
It says, thank you. At least someone is petting me or whatever. Thank you, Leonora. Okay, now the story behind the picture. It's a real dog and it's a real story. The dog's name is Vice. I wrote the Russian word as well. This is quite an old dog. The dog is 12, so quite a senior dog. Unfortunately, he was abandoned. You know, I'm just speaking, and I'm really very, very impressed. Still, I'm really impressed by the story of this dog. He was abandoned by his family in December 2019. I don't know whether Vice understood he was betrayed. I don't know whether the tears in his eyes were the tears of despair or just a physiological reaction. However, that dog was betrayed, in my opinion. And when I got in touch with Roman in April, the dog was still in the shelter. So, actually, this is Chisinau Dog Shelter, Centrul de Capturare și Sterilizare a Câinilor fără stăpân în Chisinau. I will speak about it a little bit later as well. But I was so deeply impressed by the story of this dog that I wrote a text, a story, right? And I will share it with you a little bit later. We're going just another activity I would suggest, and my students like doing it. It's kind of a game. It's called Guess the Title of the text. The number of people in the group, I would normally divide the class into several groups, depending on the number of words in the title. My title has 8 words. So there are 8 words in the title, which means that there should be 8 people in the group. So so this is the handout, right? A friend in need is a friend in need. We cut, you know, the words, and each group gets a set. And the students are supposed to come in front, collaborate with each other, and stand in a line forming the title. And the group that forms the correct title first is the winner. And this is a very interactive activity, and you should see how they how they move in the class, how they communicate with each other, you know, and it's quite interesting. So this is the story, you know. Each student gets a handout, or just 1 for 2, it depends how, but no, each student gets a handout, because the first task would be just they read individually, they scan the text and they try to circle the unknown words. This is individual work. Just it depends how quick your students are at reading. It may take from 1 to 5 minutes. Just you decide. Then after they are done, you just join them into pairs so that they would explain each other their unknown vocabulary. And if there are still unknown words left, you can join them into groups of 4 or 5, just depending on the number of students in your class. And all the other words, unknown words, will be explained by the teacher. And this is the story. I hope you can read it. I don't know. Okay, perhaps I do. My name is Vice. Remember, I'm 12. I've been living with you for as long as I remember, but not anymore. Past tense, past life. I thought you loved and cared for me as much as I loved you. Wrong. Look at my photo. What do you see in it? An old dog behind the bars, devastated, upset, and betrayed. My eyes are filled with bitter tears, and I can't stop crying. My heart is broken. I can't understand one thing. Why? What have I done wrong to have deserved such a fate? What have I done wrong to have been abandoned here in this horrible cage with only strangers around? Haven't I loved you enough? Haven't I protected you well enough? Haven't I been nice to you and to all your friends? Perhaps the answer is no. Otherwise, I would not be here. I still remember that morning 2 days ago when you called my name and we went for a ride, as I wrongly thought then. But the way was longer than usual, and I wanted to get out to run and play with you. Remember? When I started barking, you shouted at me angrily for the first time. I looked at you, but you turned your face away. You didn't talk to me. You didn't even look at me. Then two people approached us, and you told them something, signed some papers, gave them my leash, and left without saying a word or looking at me. I was frozen. I could neither move nor hold. And my loving heart missed a beat. My eyes were following you. You became smaller and smaller until you disappeared. Those people took me to a place called a cage. I realized that's going to be my new home. What a horrifying place. I still can't believe you've left me here for good. I'm still waiting for you without accepting any food or water. Remember teaching me not to eat or drink anything from strangers. I'm hungry and thirsty. I'm getting weaker and weaker. But you haven't come to take me back home yet. I'm still hoping you're on the way. I will wait until you come, my beloved human. Hurry up, please. Hurry. Okay, you know, each time, I don't know, I was just kind of really impressed. And each time I read it, I have tears in my eyes. I don't know. Perhaps I'm over-emotional. But this is a message from, actually, it's a first-person narration, right, from the part of this dog. And that I would ask my students to answer the questions. Again, it's up to you. Either they work in pairs or they work in groups, right? It depends how much time you have left and how much time you want to spare for this activity. If you look, there are questions which just, the answer to which is very easily found in the text. However, there are some questions which require some critical thinking skills. For instance, what is the moral of the story? Do you think he has been adopted by other people? Why do you think so? Which is the chance of an aged dog to get a new home? And so we have some 10 minutes left. I'll try to be quicker. You know, as post-reading again, you can make, if you want it, a writing activity. Okay, I guess Maria wanted to say something. She raised her hand. Or am I mistaken? Maria Streletsky raised hand. All right.
I have been too emotional and pressed the wrong button.
Maybe. Okay, I understand that some people might say, oh, it's not the right text to use in class. Oh, my students are very young and they're very, I don't know, they can be hurt, but it's up to you to decide. Now we can make it a writing activity as well, or give it as homework. As this is an open-ended story, I would, if I have time left, I would make my students work in groups, right? And write an ending to the story, or give it as homework. It's also not a bad idea. And when they come next time, they would share it with us. What I, you know, when we look at the lesson projects, the last stage is extension. And very often, teachers don't know what to plan for that extension stage. I suggest for this lesson some project work. It could it's up to you how you're going to join the students. Either, let's say, they live their neighbors, or they are friends, or I don't know. So I would suggest, in relation to this lesson, to search the net and find the nearest animal shelter in their region, to pay a visit and describe what they are going to see there. It's a good idea to make them identify their problems and needs. So if the students are very young, they can go there with their parents, you know. They could brainstorm with the group and come with clear-cut solutions. They can draw. You can ask them to draw or design a poster, a leaflet. They could shoot a video spot concerning that visit to the animal shelter. And they should help spread word about the shelter, about maybe some fundraising activities, about some aid provided to the animals. Some of them might become even volunteers. And the last, but not, perhaps one of the most important, is to adopt a stray animal, be it a cat or a dog or a horse, a chicken, a mouse, whatever, you know, because at least in Wales, there are a lot of stray animals. People are often afraid to adopt them because they just carry diseases, whatever. But if we go to the vet, it's going to be quite successful. This is the link where you can find the collection. I will later access it and show it to you. Okay. And now I want to come to with words of gratitude to these amazing people from Chisinau, to Roman Trachman, who does a lot to protect animals and to find them families. And these are the people who on a daily basis come to the shelters and try to do their best to save these amazing, friendly creatures. Take a look how friendly these animals are and how grateful they are. Look at just at their faces, at their muzzles. You know, it's something. Or this one, words of gratitude to those people who come and help, who come and adopt different animals. And this one, even in this time of pandemic, of coronavirus, people come and adopt just animals. And here are puppies for adoption. Maybe you can choose one. Look at them, how beautiful they are. Just other dogs for adoption. Look at the eyes of this one. It's just begging, please take me. I'll be a good family member. I'm friendly, I'm caring. And this is the center. If you can find it, that would be, at least I didn't get in touch with Roman. And I don't know whether Vice is still in the shelter. But if any out of 127 participants have the condition, because it's quite a big dog, and the will to make a change for this animal, then that would be amazing. That would be just a great, it would have a great educational impact. So what I want to ask you, let's make a difference for at least one stray animal. The future is in the young generation's hands, and their future, as well as the future of millions of neglected and abused animals worldwide. And now, thank you for your attention. Please clap and don't ask difficult questions. I'm kidding, of course. You know, this is my email. If you just have questions or you want to get in touch with me, I would gladly accept communicating with others. And here we have the resources, and just for you to see how this collection looks like. You will get, if you access the link, this is the link. And here it's 88 pages of lesson plans, 5.4 megabytes of PDF format, and you can download it. Well, and this is the result of this international collaboration. Margarita, thank you. So it looks, you know, as I said, it's for different ages. Just, okay. Okay, this is the first one. You have teacher's notes, and the stages are being explained very clearly, what you are supposed to do, and there are handouts, different handouts. You can look, you are free to use them in your class, you know. And this is another one, you know. That's it. So
Okay.
I have finished.
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much, Miss Elena. As usual, you are doing your best to inspire us.
Thank you. I didn't make you work that much, as you know, but I wanted to share as much as possible. Of course, it could have been more interactive.
No,
and I hope you didn't cry when I was reading the text.
We will definitely find something useful in all of this, and your session also comes with this, you know, confirming my saying and my quote that I usually say during our sessions and trainings, that we do not only teach English, we teach human. So
yeah,
this is very important to not forget. Okay. Thank you, and hope to very soon see you face to face.
Yes, I will stop sharing.